Hey there, thanks for tuning into the Buck and Eric podcast. I'm Buck.
And I'm Eric, and today we're talking about conflict.
It happens when you're dealing with other human beings that are infinitely different than you. You're going to have problems. Whether it's a business partnership or just the relationship between you and your potential clients, conflict is eventually going to rear its ugly head. And there's actually great value that you can mine by learning how to take that conflict and turn it into a victory. We've done this a handful of times with each other. We've done this with clients where we get off on the wrong foot because maybe I messed up. And all of a sudden a conflict ensues and it's tense and it's uncomfortable. But if you have the emotional fortitude and the commitment and the dedication to getting through it, resolving it, and coming out on top, you can learn a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's key too to look at it and have that solution mindset where if you come into a conflict and you're just like, they're wrong 100%, there's nothing that they could have done right and they will never do anything right, you're setting yourself up for failure. There's nothing that can be learned. So instead, if you come at it and you look at it and you say, like Bucky said, maybe I did something wrong, and you approach it that way and you take some ownership over these things and you say, I'm not quite sure what I did wrong. Can you help me to better understand it? And it helps them to disarm, because then they understand that you're not trying to blame them for the problem. You're essentially just trying to look at the situation and say, what could have been done differently that can help both of us either, find closure in this situation or to work successfully together in the future. And by having those things, a lot of times what I found in my experience is those conflict points are areas that are very important, and that's why they cause conflict. And if you have difference of opinions that are important areas, you're going to have stronger opinions about them, and that's what's going to lead to that difference in opinion. But being open and understanding another perspective is going to give you a better view on the situation as a whole, so that you can actually grow and learn from those situations, and perhaps even take something from that other person that they may have more experience on, and they may say this is a better way to do it, and you can move forward in the future that way as well.
Well, even beyond that, I think sometimes having conflict with someone actually gives birth to a circumstance where you can generate an even better, more trusting relationship with that person by demonstrating that even though things got tough, we were able to work our way through it,
thick and thin,
to speak each other's point of view back to each other, and to demonstrate that we care enough, we're committed enough, and we have the courage and the emotional fortitude to address that conflict and push forward and find that common ground, without just throwing our hands up and being like, listen, Cynthia, you are trash and I hope I never see you again. Where instead you could actually work through that, and they could say, oh, this person, they made a mistake. But in making that mistake, it gave them the opportunity to demonstrate they actually do really care.
Yep, absolutely. So definitely approach conflict with tact. Make sure you go in, make sure you have a plan of what you're trying to achieve, and how maybe you can offer something in return, or you can offer some sort of compromise to that person. But make sure you're working with them, find that compromise, and just, be open to different solutions. So,
and remember, people don't change overnight. It's very hard for people to absorb new information. Sometimes you get your point across. You don't need to lecture the person for an hour and a half on the same point. Sometimes you got to understand, I'm going to make this point, and then I'm going to give them a couple days to kind of absorb that information. Well, that's it, guys. Be strong, be confident, be willing to work through conflict, and we will see you next time.